Happy Friday, LRAA members. It's your president, Teresa Knapp Gordon, talking to you today about our fight and where we are and division and how division can destroy our association from the inside. So, throughout this year and last year, we have talked about the inoculation documents, and I have sent them out numerous times to our members. Because what is happening right now is common practice in a fight such as the one we're in. And I tried very hard to warn you against what is happening so that you knew what it was and you recognized what it was and you could stand against it. Unfortunately, that some people have chosen not to adhere to the solidarity inoculation documents, and so I want to remind you today about what to be wary of. So, first of all, I want to talk just a minute about the letter that I sent out last week. I'm sure some of you are wondering what in the world. But I felt that it was necessary to send that letter out because of some rumors that were going around. And I felt that as the president, I needed to head off those rumors. Those rumors that were going around are exactly, a prime example of what the inoculation document warns against. It very, very specifically says that the other side will try to create division among the members. And that is exactly what happened. I want you to hear from me firsthand that I would never do anything to undermine this association. I have been a member of this association since the day I signed up to teach in Little Rock School District, and I am committed to this association and to all it stands for. I have served this association for nearly my entire teaching career. I started out as a building rep and served on several committees, and then moved up to the board and served on the board for several years, and then I moved into the vice president's position and served in that position for several years, and then took over as president when President Kohler went to be the AEA president. Then I was elected to my first term, and that is what I'm serving now. I have put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this association. Spent a lot of personal time advocating for members and attending conferences to increase my knowledge and to hone my negotiation skills and to make me a better union member. And I want you to know that I understand how hard this fight is. I understand that as educators, it hurts our hearts to guard against what could potentially happen by not being there for our students. And I understand that that is a very difficult choice to make. And what I can say to you today is that the choices you make today will impact our children and our schools for years to come. And we cannot afford to back off of this fight at this point. We must stand together in solidarity. We must disregard rumors. I try to be as honest and transparent as I can with you. But there are some things that I cannot put out there because we have leaks. And that's unfortunate, but that's the case with any large organization. And this fight is too critical. We're talking about the future of public education in Little Rock School District and potentially in the state of Arkansas. And I included a clip or a link to an article about Newark, New Jersey, because I want you to see what has happened in other places. This plan that is unfolding right now that we are fighting against is not something new. This has been tried in other cities, and our enemies have practiced and have learned from their mistakes before they brought it home to Arkansas. And we are the proving ground here in Little Rock. And, because we fight, because we're in this fight, does not mean that we negate all of the progress that Little Rock School District has had through your hard work. Our kids are amazing. They're wonderful. They're smart. They're so full of life, and they just want to learn. And we are the nurturers and the teachers and the people who care for these kids, and we watch them grow and blossom and do the wonderful things that they do. We are the encouragers, and the successes of our district, the community support that has grown and grown and grown. Everything from DI to increased athletic abilities to, academic successes. All of that is because of you. It's because of each and every one of you who have taken the time with a child in this district. And I recognize that, and I applaud that, and know that my heart is right there with yours every time we make a decision to move in action, because I know how hard it is. I'm an elementary person. I know how hard it is to think about our children maybe not having something to eat, or not having someone to care for them, or not being safe. And we're trying to do everything we can to offset that. But at the same time, we cannot afford to lose this fight. And it is so important, especially for those children of greatest need, because they are the ones who will suffer if we lose this fight. And, I want to say too that if you have an administrator who is bullying you or pushing you or threatening you about taking actions, you need to talk to them, and you need to tell them, I'm doing what's right for these kids. I'm trying to protect these kids. What are you trying to do? Because yes, academics is important. It's critical. We all want our children to learn. We want our children to have the best education possible. But the reality is, if we lose this fight because we don't stand together, then those children are not going to have a chance. They're going to be put into charter schools. They're going to be funneled into low-income work. And we can't stand by and let that happen. Go look at that link and look at what happened in Trenton. In Newark. Take a look at that. And know that that is our future if we don't stand up and fight this and win it. If we win this fight here, we set up the potential for wins all across the United States. We are having a major impact already. Our fight has changed the narrative across the country. I never told you that it was going to be it'd be an easy fight. I never told you that it was going to be a short fight. And I understand that a lot of you just want to hit hard and win it. But that's unfortunately not the type of fight we're in. A member at Central explained it so eloquently last week. He said, a lot of people want a strategy game. They want us to be in a strategic fight where you have a clear plan of action, and you know that this week you're going to do this, and next week you're going to do that, and then you're going to go out on open-ended strike, and then they're going to say, okay, you can have it, and then we all go back to work and live happily ever after. And unfortunately, that is not the type of fight we're in. We are in a tactical fight, and every action that we take creates a reaction from the other side, which then determines the next action from us. But we are having an impact, and we are making progress, because we have decided that we will not allow our children to be used as pawns in this game. We will not allow our children in our district to be resegregated. We will not stand by and let this happen. As the educators of Little Rock School District, you and I have a moral obligation to stand up for our kids. And if any principals are watching, so do you. If any leaders are watching from the district, so do you. We are all in this together, and it will impact all of us if we lose this fight. These are our children. They are our greatest resource, and we have no option but to stand up for them. And anybody who tries to undermine this fight or tries to stop what we're doing, you deserve everything history writes about you, because you are the other side. And you may think you're doing right by the kids, but the reality is, if you're standing in the way of this fight to save our schools and to save our kids from resegregation, you are on the wrong side. Guys, have a great weekend. Try to get some rest, relax, stay well. Go vote. Early voting is still going on, so go vote. Super Tuesday's coming up next week. It ought to be exciting. So the most important thing you can do is go vote. Have a great weekend. Thanks.